The term geomaxing usually refers to men relocating to another country to improve their dating prospects, often with the belief that they will be more valued or successful there than in their home country. Eastern Europe is sometimes mentioned in these discussions. However, there are several reasons why moving there solely for dating advantages can be a poor strategy. Cultural misunderstandings. Eastern European societies, such as those in Romania, Poland, or Ukraine, have their own cultural norms, expectations, and relationship values. People who move expecting automatic romantic success often underestimate traditional views on relationships and family, expectations around commitment and responsibility, language barriers, and social etiquette. Without genuine cultural integration, relationships may feel superficial or transactional. 2. Unrealistic expectations about dating. Online discussions often create the impression that Western men will be instantly desirable in Eastern Europe. In reality, women in these countries have high standards and strong family expectations. Many are well-educated and economically independent. Foreigners are not automatically seen as better partners. When expectations are based on internet stereotypes rather than reality, disappointment is common. 3. Economic and lifestyle challenges. Moving abroad requires more than just buying a plane ticket. A sustainable life in cities like Bucharest, Warsaw, or Kiev requires stable employment or remote income, knowledge of visa or residency rules, healthcare and housing arrangements, adapting to a different bureaucracy. If someone relocates mainly for dating, these practical factors can become overwhelming. 4. Risk of transactional relationships. When someone moves to a place believing that their nationality or income alone will make them attractive, it can unintentionally encourage relationships based on perceived financial or immigration benefits rather than genuine connection. Healthy relationships generally form when both people share values and life goals, respect each other's culture, meet naturally through work, hobbies, or social circles. 5. Social isolation. Relocating without a broader purpose can lead to isolation. Without friends, community ties, or meaningful work, the experience may feel lonely, even in vibrant cities like Prague or Budapest. Many expatriates find that building a support network is much harder than expected. Ethical considerations. Treating an entire region as a dating market can reinforce stereotypes and reduce people to simplistic assumptions about gender roles, wealth, or nationality. That mindset often leads to unhealthy dynamics and resentment. A healthier alternative. If someone is genuinely interested in Eastern Europe, its culture, history, and people, moving there can be a rewarding experience. But relocation should ideally be motivated by career opportunities, education, lifestyle preferences, or cultural interest, not just the hope of easier dating.
Eastern Europe is not the Philippines in the context of the dating market and lifestyle. 1. Cultural distance versus Western integration. The Philippines is a post-colonial society with heavy American influence. English is an official language, and Catholicism is the dominant religion. This makes for a low-friction transition. Eastern Europe, however, remains culturally distinct. While younger generations speak English, the social fabric is rooted in Orthodox or Catholic traditions, Slavic Baltic languages, and a history of Soviet stoicism. You cannot blend in or communicate as easily as you can in Manila. The cultural barrier requires a much higher level of social intelligence. The hard versus soft aesthetic. In the geomaxing community, the Philippines is often sought for soft femininity, warmth, hospitality, and a focus on traditional gender roles. Eastern Europe is famous for hard beauty. The standard of grooming and fashion in cities like Warsaw, Kiev, or Bucharest is incredibly high. Unlike the Philippines, where a Western man might feel a massive status jump simply by existing, in Eastern Europe you are competing with local men who are often tall, fit, and culturally attuned. You don't get a pass on your appearance or fitness just because you have a blue passport. 3. Economic parity and passport power. The wealth gap between a Westerner and a local in the Philippines is often vast, which can unfortunately skew dating dynamics toward financial provider roles. In Eastern Europe, the gap is closing rapidly. Countries like Poland, the Czech Republic, and Romania have booming tech sectors. A local software engineer in Cluj or Tallinn might out-earn a Western digital nomad. Women in these regions are increasingly financially independent and are looking for lifestyle compatibility, not a financial exit strategy. You are not saving anyone here. You are joining a peer group. The social wall, the peach versus coconut. People in the Philippines are often described as peaches, soft on the outside, friendly, smiling, easy to talk to, but with a hard pit. True intimacy takes time. Eastern Europeans are coconuts, a hard, cold shell on the outside, the famous no-smile policy in public, but soft and fiercely loyal on the inside once you earn their trust. A man used to the instant warmth of Southeast Asia will find the initial coldness of Eastern Europe discouraging, mistakenly labeling it as rudeness or disinterest. 5 demographics and competition. In the Philippines, there is a demographic surplus of women interested in Western men. In Eastern Europe, the market is much more balanced. Furthermore, you are competing with high-value Western Europeans, Germans, Scandinavians, Italians, who have been vacationing and moving to Eastern Europe for decades. You aren't a novelty. You're just another guy in the cafe. Conclusion. Geomaxing in the Philippines is about arbitrage, maximizing your dollar and your status through sheer contrast. Geomaxing in Eastern Europe is about refinement, finding a high-quality lifestyle and traditional values in a society that still demands you level up to participate. If the Philippines is a cheat code, Eastern Europe is just a different map, with the difficulty setting still on high.
The phrase dating is cooked, meaning ruined, dead, or extremely difficult, gets thrown around a lot in online discussions, especially in manosphere red pill adjacent spaces. When applied to Eastern Europe, Poland, Ukraine, Romania, Baltics, Balkans, etc., people usually point to a mix of traditional expectations clashing hard with modern post-2022 realities. Here are the main arguments why many claim the dating market there feels broken or cooked right now, as of 2026. Extreme hypergamy, plus traditional provider expectations still strong. Women often expect men to fully lead, pay for literally everything: dates, gifts, flowers, dinners, prove financial stability early, and act as the classic hunter while she plays prey. This stems from lingering post-Soviet cultural norms where dating, path to marriage, not casual fun. Many local men complain it's exhausting and expensive just to get basic interest, while women hold out for someone significantly higher status, taller, richer, more masculine, better provider potential. Online discussions frequently describe it as, you need to be top tier or you're invisible. 2. War, instability, and male emigration skewing the pool, especially in Ukraine and nearby. Ongoing conflict in Ukraine has displaced millions, killed, injured many fighting-age men, and pushed even more to leave for work, safety abroad. Similar, though less extreme patterns exist in other countries due to economic migration. This creates a temporary surplus of women in some areas, but the remaining men are often either very high value or connected or seen as low value, unstable. Foreigners, passport bros, sometimes report getting wrecked because local women are now more skeptical, cautious of outsiders post-war, or because the best options already left. 3. Mass youth emigration. Plus, brain drain killing local social scenes. Huge numbers of young, educated, ambitious people, especially men in tech, IT, but women too, have left for Western Europe, UK, US, etc. over the last 15 to 20 years. Countries like Romania, Bulgaria, Latvia, Lithuania, and Poland lost massive chunks of their working-age population. Result: smaller, older, more conservative dating pools in many cities, fewer fun, interesting young people staying, and a sense that everyone good already left or got taken. The ones who stay sometimes feel stuck or resentful. 4. Apps and online dating are trash there too, or worse in some ways. Tinder, Badoo, etc. still exist, but the dynamic is often described as hyper-competitive for men. Very male-heavy in some apps, women get flooded with messages, low response rates unless you're elite tier. Many say cold approach day game is still necessary because apps feel even more superficial there due to beauty standards being sky high and traditional courtship still expected offline. 5. Cultural mismatch for foreigners. Plus, rising skepticism. Western men who go there thinking it's easy mode, beautiful traditional women, often get burned. Expectations around chivalry provider role are intense. Family involvement can be heavy early, and post-2022 there's more wariness toward foreigners, scams, short-term tourists, etc. Some locals view passport bros as low-effort sex tourists rather than serious prospects. Overall demographic doom loop, low birth rates plus aging. Eastern Europe has some of the world's lowest fertility rates, highest emigration, and fastest population decline. This shrinks the pool of potential partners year by year and creates a sense of desperation or cynicism in the remaining dating market. Not everyone agrees it's completely cooked. Some men, especially those who fit traditional masculine provider archetypes, still report success, and certain cities, Warsaw, Bucharest, Belgrade, have active scenes. But the combination of old-school high expectations plus modern economic demographic collapse makes it feel brutal for average guys, whether local or foreign. It's a region where tradition hasn't fully died, but the economic social foundation that once supported those traditions has eroded badly. That mismatch is what a lot of people mean when they say it's cooked.
The notion that Eastern Europe lacks quality dating is a complex issue, influenced by various cultural, social, and economic factors. Cultural factors: traditional values and conservative attitudes towards relationships, emphasis on family and community over individual desires, different communication styles and expectations in relationships. Social factors: limited exposure to Western-style dating culture, smaller social circles and less emphasis on socializing outside of work-school, economic challenges and priorities, e.g., financial stability over romance. Economic factors: limited financial resources and disposable income, brain drain and migration of young people to Western Europe. However, these factors don't necessarily mean Eastern Europe lacks quality dating. Some argue, stronger family values and traditional relationships can be fulfilling. Cultural differences can bring unique perspectives and depth to relationships. Economic challenges can foster resourcefulness and resilience.